Hey, what up, guys? It's Mike.
It's Dan.
It's the man who married a woman and she just disappeared. It's a China Gone Girl.
Yo, this is probably the most crazy case of this kind of love separation thing I've seen so far.
You know, I hate this crap.
Like, this actually breaks my heart, man.
I hate this because it just shows how shallow people are. And it's nothing I hate more. Well, there's stuff I hate more, but
yeah.
A lot of things in this world, you know, don't compare to my dislike of materialistic people.
Yeah, people who exactly, and I feel like we see so much of this, and this is taken to a whole nother level. This right here, there's a guy surnamed Liu from a rural village.
Very rural.
We're not talking about, he's not from Beijing, he's not from Shanghai, in Shanxi, and he met a girl. All right, and she basically, I mean, this is crazy. He spent his entire life savings, plus took out loans for more money.
Huge loan.
Huge loan.
Like 200,000 RMB.
Dude,
that's like 30. About no wait. 200,000 is what, like.
It's 30. It's 30 something grand.
Yeah.
But he only makes what, maybe a grand a year, like a grand, less than a grand a month.
Yeah,
he
doesn't
probably
make
makes,
that much.
right? People in rural China make probably anywhere from 500 to 1,500 renminbi.
He works at a restaurant
in rural China.
Yeah.
So this is literally the equivalent of you and I taking out, I would say, like a $600,000 loan.
Yeah.
Because we make more than the guy, but not much. Like, you know, like no average, I would say, like the average person in America.
So he meets this girl, and the girl basically is stipulating that you need to have a house, and that's why he got the money.
Right.
So he bought a house.
His original home wasn't up to par, right?
Right.
Because he lived in a cave.
He lives in a cave.
Like
in a cave.
This is for real, people. Okay, first of all, he also gave like a reverse dowry. Wait, this is her dowry.
Yeah, he gave some money to her parents.
85,000 of the renminbi to the parents. Then he spent 20,000 renminbi on jewelry.
Yeah.
Then he took out another 10,000 renminbi and gave them 30,000 renminbi. Basically, just gave it to them.
Yeah, basically he spent 200,000.
Yeah.
And then after they got married, 3 days later, she's gone.
Yeah.
She's like, gone.
So he spent his whole entire life savings, took out more money.
And this isn't a case where like she got kidnapped,
no.
Or it's a case when, you know, she's whatever. No, she just left him. Like, she ghosted him in real life.
Yeah.
And then he found her.
Yeah.
And then he's like, hey. And then she's like, she won't talk to him. She's like, won't talk to him. Ignores him.
Yeah.
And then basically never sees him again.
That's his wife.
Yeah.
That's his wife.
Yeah.
First of all, this guy's more than heartbroken. I mean, devastation wouldn't even begin to describe. I mean, can you imagine that?
He had to go to the hospital because he was so devastated. No, he's got medical bills.
They have, the doctors are telling him like, yo, like you're suffering from this, like legit suffering, and like he has to pay for this now. So he's in the hole for even more money. And he's basically now suing her for, after all this time, then he's like, he's kind of like.
He sued her so she'll actually show up.
Yeah.
Of course she doesn't show up.
Of course not.
So this is not a case where she got abducted or whatever, she just left him.
Right.
And really it's what else could it be? It's like, you know, you don't have enough money, you're not giving me the lifestyle that I really need.
Right.
And that's gone. And this happens a lot in rural China because the man to woman ratio is very lopsided.
Right.
Because the women, they demand things. They're like, hey, we're one of the few women here, so if you want to marry me, you gotta give me a house, give me this and this. Most of the guys, they don't have that.
Right. But he gave it to her, and she still left.
Yeah.
That's what, like, I don't agree with the first part anyways. Like, you can't demand those things, you shouldn't. And it's not just like, when I learned about in China right now, this is literally how to get a wife.
Yeah.
You actually have to have a checklist of these things.
Of course.
This is serious. Like, it's not just, oh, I wish he had a house. No, you need to have and if you live closer to the larger cities, everything goes up. A nice car, a nice house, blah, blah, blah. Like, any, you know, spending money, all this stuff, or else I'm not even gonna talk to you. Because there's a lot of guys who could provide me with that. Yeah. I mean, this is really messed up.
I mean, we saw this kind of, you know, a little bit in New York, because we're like, a lot of New Yorkers are very materialistic. I told you guys, when I went on a date with a Chinese girl, like half a decade ago, first question was, how much do you make? This stuff totally annoys me. Whatever happened to like, love is all you need?
Yeah. And this is such a contrast when you hear about these. There's actually a lot of good love stories that come out of rural China. We've done a lot of them, like that billionaire guy who gave up everything, like gave everything to his son.
And that's why those are stories, because they're so rare. You don't hear a lot of stories about, hey, this girl demanded 20 billion renminbi from the guy, otherwise she wouldn't marry him. You don't hear a lot of stories about that, but like that stuff happens a lot.
Right.
It's just so rare that someone's like, you know what? I don't care what you have, let's be together.
Right.
Those are stories. Keep in mind, can you imagine like that happening in the US where like, hey, headline news, a guy doesn't care that the girl doesn't care this guy is poor and marries him. Like, how is that? Like, how's that news?
That's normal. That's what half the parents are teaching the kids anyways. I mean, obviously it's getting worse now, but growing up, at least when I was growing up, like, it doesn't, as long as they love you, as long as they treat you well, you build a life together. Like, that wouldn't even be news. It's just everyday occurrence.
Crazy. So I'm hoping like this guy can resolve. I don't know how he can resolve this. This is over. Like, what else can he do?
Well, the government can't make her.
Because rural China came to find her.
And technically, like, if she's the wife, it's not like she stole from him. Technically, because he gave her those things. So what is she? What? You know what I mean? Like, there's no legal ramifications.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta be careful who you marry,
dude.
That's what I'm saying,
dude. And there were signs too. Like the family was like she wouldn't even pay it. Like she would barely talk to him. She wouldn't even pay attention to him. So they saw the signs. But I guess this guy's like, yo, I gotta have her.
Yeah, she's like in love. I have friends like that. Like, they're so in love. I'm like, yo, you gotta.
It's crazy.
You gotta have some logic when you're in love. Anyway, so hopefully it works out better for him. Let us know your thoughts on this story. Thanks for watching, guys.
Later.
See ya.